Welcome to Raising the Cane.
Woo!
Yay.
Hello.
Woo, woo, woo. Let's do that again. Raising the
Yay.
Cane. Yeah.
Yay.
Okay. Yeah. So it's been a while. Happy Thanksgiving. Belated. So
That's right.
this is still in
Indeed.
the holiday season this week. So hope you enjoyed your festivities with family.
I think you added like 12 syllables.
So anyway,
Do you have some of that
uh,
Applause,
so,
Moscato
applause,
tonight?
applause.
so
Yeah.
anyway, so we have
At
a
least you're
lot
not
to be
driving.
okay. So anyway, Mr. Pitts, I see that's here on your shirts. You're Mr. Pitts.
And also the
Um,
LA Kings. That's that cat.
so
See?
anyway,
Kings,
PITZ.
our National Hockey League franchise.
So anyway, well, we thank you for watching and listening to us, all our loyal fans and followers, and please we subscribe to our channel. Raising the Cane.
Yes.
We're
What's the
on
name of the
Apple.
channel?
Okay, we're on Apple. I'm gonna ignore certain folks. We're on Apple. We're on Amazon Music.
Let me
We're
ignore
on
you.
Spotify and iHeart and Deezer and etc. and several of them, and watch our YouTube. So we thank you for following us. We appreciate you. So we're going to talk about some few things, some stuff right off the top of our heads because it's raising in our brain, Kane. But let's talk about the recent passing of Irene Cara from Fame, Flashdance, What a Feeling.
Oh, yes. It was,
Music,
And
I
bro.
loved it. Yes.
That's
so,
right.
man, she did pave the way, and she very successful. And I saw a video of her performing a few years ago, not too long. I don't know what year it was, but within a few years. So I mean, those were two big songs, huge songs at the time, and still good to hear today.
And well known all over the world.
Yeah.
Right, right.
And I'm just
And
going to
so,
briefly give you an encapsulation of her early life
Hmm.
before achieving fame, both uppercase and lowercase. She was born in the Bronx, one
okay.
of the five boroughs of New York City, the Big Apple. She
Hmm.
was the youngest of five children.
Wow.
Her father was a steel factory worker, and he played saxophone professionally.
Mhm.
His name was
Okay.
Gaspar Cara, and he was Puerto Rican. Her mother, Louise Escalera, who worked as a movie theater usher, was Cuban.
Okay.
Oh, so.
Puerto Rican Cuban.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and her love of audiences and entertainment began at an early age. She was a mere 3 years of age when she was one of
Mm,
five finalists for the Little
wow.
Miss America pageant. And
Oh,
then
Wow.
from there, she started playing piano. She studied music, acting, and dance, and began taking formal dance lessons when she was 5 years old.
okay.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she
So
was even
yeah,
on
she.
the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson,
Hmm.
Mhm.
and sang in Spanish on the original Amateur Hour, and
Mm,
was
Wow.
a regular on PBS's educational program, The Electric Company, from 1971 to 1972.
Oh.
that's right. So yeah, I remember when those songs came out and the TV show sparked it. I used to watch it with Fame. The school for the talented high schoolers, teenagers, and stuff. And so I just love those songs. It's like upbeat, energetic, and it was different too from the
Yeah,
other songs. It was very
Hmm.
different.
Hmm.
So she was unique, and condolences to the family on her
How old
passing.
was she?
63,
63.
63.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
you know, yeah, that was a shock when that happened, when they announced it. We're in that age group, but we're proud to say it. Because if you can live long, that's a good thing. That's a
Yeah.
good thing. So,
Yes.
but when reading about her, one thing that in her life, one aspect of it pissed me off because of the struggles she had, her and all the predecessors before her, as far as with the record companies cheating, allegedly cheating her and giving her a payout. It said the article $1 million at the time,
Yes.
which went a lot further back then than it does now. Although $1 million now would be nice.
I wouldn't turn it
Um,
down.
And so then she was allegedly blacklisted. Now, and I can see that happening because they cheated Chuck Berry. They cheated. Let's list all the minority entertainers in a now to the 80s, 90s, 80s, 70s, 60s, 50s, 40s. It's more horrible as you go back in time. And so definitely were cheated Black and Hispanic, whatever minorities
Minorities. Mhm.
at the time. And so, you know, I don't think it's a far stretch that they blacklisted her because that's what they
and I-
did to
and I
people.
think that what they indicate is that, oh, there's some echo, I'm sorry. That it wasn't fairly. So basically, what they will pay the minorities, it will be far less than that we will pay to the, you know, the whites or the Caucasians at the time.
Mhm.
So in the difference in that field, they will be a far less that they will provide to these artists, and they will keep even more. So basically they will still were in this advantage during that period of time.
It's true.
Yeah, I
That's
was stumbling on Little Richard came to mind as well because he was one of the first pioneers, the father of rock and roll that really got screwed and created so many acts after him that looked up for him, that inspired a lot of acts after that. So you can go on and on and on. And it's just sad that you know, ethnicity and race had to be a factor in a universal language, which is music.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
the moral of the story is there was no morals with people like today. There's some people that'll cheat people, and the same back then. And so it's just, you know, unfortunate. And so that's good to hear when people take ownership of their masters, you know, when they own the master records and control and have bring some more power back to the artists, which that has happened. And especially we're talking about minority artists at this point. So at any rate, so sad that of the passing of Irene Cara. So anyway.
But note some of the high points. Not only the 1980 hit film Fame itself, in which she portrayed Coco Hernandez in the
Mhm.
film,
Mhm.
singing both the title song Fame and Out Here on My Own, which became nominated songs.
Right, I heard about that. I heard that song. I like that song.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she had other songs just in the two big hits I just mentioned, but she had a string of well done songs.
That's right. And that
And so
soundtrack
yeah,
itself was multi-platinum.
right.
Wow.
Yeah,
And then
she kicked butt.
she won the award for Best Original Song.
Right. She won. So
And you know, it was the Best New Artist with the Grammys in 1980 as well.
mhm.
You know, so
I
Wow.
remember at the time she was on all the shows. She would, you know, be singing the songs and on a lot of songs, a lot of different programs at the time. So
in fact, I got tired of it after a point. I mean, it was like, too much. It was a good song, but come on. Enough.
yeah,
Yeah, I remember that they
Turn
would
the
put it
radio
all
dial.
over.
I shouldn't say it because this is supposed to be a tribute, but still.
yeah, actually, yeah, it is. So
Well,
anyway, But
And she
anyway, so
and she
go
and she
ahead.
won a NAACP Image Award for
Okay.
Best Actress when she co-starred with Diane Carroll and Rosalind Cash in Maya Angelou's Sister in
Oh,
1982.
Mhm.
And she was Myrtle Evers Williams, the wife of Medgar Evers, who was the
Mhm.
assassinated civil rights leader, in a
Right.
movie about his life called For Us the Living, the Medgar Evers story.
mm.
And then she, was in live theater. She portrayed the role of Dorothy in The Wiz on tour.
Oh, I didn't
With,
know that. I didn't
yeah,
know that.
yeah, that was the role that Stephanie Mills had first portrayed in the
Right. Right.
original
And
Broadway
Michael
production.
and Michael Jackson, they were in a film when Michael Jackson was in that, in the
That's right.
film version.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Oh,
He was a scarecrow, wasn't he?
He was. He was.
Yeah,
ah,
scarecrow. Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was a big thing, the Wiz. Yeah. That was
Yeah.
a big thing back then.
Of
A
course, my favorite
takeoff.
thing she did
Mhm.
was writing Flashdance. What a feeling.
What a feeling.
Music
Yeah.
ground.
Yeah. You
Keep
need to get some
feeling
help.
back.
Yeah, you're having a seizure. You better go to emergency right now, Maurice.
Well,
Better go to emergency right now.
people listening on the podcast can only imagine the athleticism and the acrobatics that I'm generating here.
So anyway,
Yeah.
I want to talk about let's turn our attention to money, in particular
Okay.
crypto
Oh,
currency and FTX implosion because of just stupidity. Absolute stupidity. 16 billion of value gone overnight and just boom, just like that. All the
no.
investors wrote it down, 16 billion, just like that.
That's amazing.
Oh
And
my
so,
gosh.
That's
and
amazing.
so, and so basically similar to a Ponzi scheme, getting money from one source and paying yourself, getting client money,
Oh my
getting
gosh.
customer money that they intend to invest. When they decided to invest, it was being held in FTX, and then FTX leadership took that money, about half of it, I think they said $8 to $10 billion, took that money to invest in their sister company. I can't remember the name, Alpha Research, something like that.
Alameda Research.
Alameda Research, excuse me. And so, and used it to do very dangerous, seriously risky trades.
Man.
Yeah.
The biggest thing is they didn't have permission to move those funds and invest in another company.
Oh my gosh.
Company. So
And
and
what he transferred, what he transferred was like $10 billion worth of customer credit from FTX to what you said before, Michael, Alameda Research.
Alameda Research.
And and in fact, and he was all kind of wrapped up in that Bahamas real estate, and there's an exclusive compound.
Yeah, because that's where their headquarters is, the Bahamas, but the Bahamian government is seizing all their assets on,
Wow.
and so the jurisdiction at the United States, well, it was in the Bahamas, so that's who has the jurisdiction. I don't see, everybody wants to jump on the bandwagon to persecute them, but millions of dollars of real estate to his parents, to the employees, buying these huge compounds and real estate transactions, and donating a lot of money
think-
inappropriately. Yeah. Go ahead.
That's the worst part. How can you donate, when you don't have a structure?
Yeah.
I think to me, this shows that it was a immaturity. He was not well, how can you tell somebody, a team that should be on top of them, telling them, no, this is to guide him, actually, financial experts to guide him, especially when you're dealing with money from other people.
Yeah.
all
These-
all these players were in their 20s, real young too, real young.
Oh, my
All of them.
goodness.
All of them. Someone said they should have had somebody in there with 20, 30 years experience, somebody. So, but it was, I'm sure I'm saying fraudulent, but that's probably how it's going to play out. When you move someone gives you money and you use it for other purposes than what they agreed to, I don't know what else you can call it. It is
Oh, yeah.
stupid. It's definitely stupid. And Mark Cuban, I was
That's-
saying he should be scared about going to prison right now. That's what
Well,
Mark
you know,
Cuban said.
well, you know, what's interesting is that there's already a class action lawsuit filed by various investors who claimed that Bankman-Fried and other high-profile celebrities, including
Tom Brady
uh,
and his
yeah,
Gisele Bundchen,
seven-time Super Bowl champion quarterback Tom Brady, formerly of the New England Patriots, more recently of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers,
yeah.
Golden State Warriors.
Really?
Yeah, Golden State
Because
Warriors
see,
basketball stars.
they endorsed it. They
Yeah.
were paid or not paid, whatever, to preach the gospel. FTX is the savior, and now a lot of investors lost their money. I mean, this guy, it's only one way for him to go, and that's down. I mean, this is so.
Well,
It's no justification for taking people's money and putting in some risky trade they wouldn't have done on their own.
Yeah,
Or
here's some
authorized.
of,
It's unauthorized. They're all
here's some of-
unauthorized trades according to the
here's some
news.
of the background. FTX, the cryptocurrency trading platform, was just founded in 2019. The U.S. Senate Agriculture Committee, which is tasked with oversight of the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, is planning to hold a hearing, as well as the House Financial Services Committee getting involved. And you're going to have, I think, a number of politicians probably positioning themselves for campaign runs by being tough on Bankman-Fried. Now, they should be, but this is a political opportunity as well, even though, Bankman-Fried through FTX provided $38 million to some of his favorite politicians of the party that is currently occupying the White House.
Right. And so he was hoping,
Wow.
obviously, it looks like he was trying to gain favor and for people to be highly flexible with him as he tried to influence policy on crypto in their favor. That's what
Yeah.
it looks like. So and now let me see which of the recipients of those millions of dollars that probably wasn't even his money. Who's to say? Because when you take people's money and use money you say is yours, is it really your money at that point? If
No.
you're using, money that you can,
You have
I don't
legal
know.
and fiduciary responsibilities,
Because
not
you're
to treat it
obligated.
as if it's your own piggy bank.
Yeah,
Right, so-
exactly.
So basically, he didn't have money. Just like
Yeah.
he certainly doesn't have it now. And then
No.
those said he moved like almost $1 billion over after he got caught, 900 million, something like that.
Well,
I heard. I'm like, wow,
And
okay,
it's probably more than that.
probably.
Because some of these are estimates,
Those investors.
Mhm.
But it's kind of like with the collapse of Enron and the Lehman Brothers.
I was just watching that the
Madoff.
other week, by the way. Yeah, all of that the other week, and just watching them go down and in flames, and crooked people just
Yeah.
justifying it. You didn't make a mistake. You stole the money.
Exactly.
I made a mistake. I was wrong. Really?
Yeah.
It.
But you know something? I think it's going to be interesting because I think some of these lawmakers that are involved with the investigations have conflicts of interest because they were recipients of some of the largesse that FTX through Bankman-Fried, and it's an interesting name that he has, Bankman-Fried.
I think that's because of his father and mother's last name were put together.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
Bankman by itself is kind of ironic, isn't it?
It is
Bankman,
ironic.
yeah.
Bankman.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of anti-Bankman now. I mean,
you're bankrupt.
or reverse Bankman. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah,
Bankman Jr. I don't know.
Bankman Jr. But everybody's getting involved, like the Department of Justice and the Securities Exchange Commission, other agencies. In fact, the federal government is going to most likely seek to extradite Bankman Fried to the United States,
Oh,
you know, because he's currently in the Bahamas or somewhere else.
wow.
He should get in the car that OJ was driving, huh? Go.
Oh, so yeah. So, you know,
It's like the low chase speed, the low speed chase, 30 miles an hour. Okay, hey,
yeah, that was famous.
I'm gonna keep going until the gas run out. So when you commit crimes, make sure you have a full tank of gas.
It's true. And it's harder now that they should have approved the Keystone Pipeline and construction of more refineries and drilling platforms, but that's just me.
Okay, I missed the connection with crypto, but it's okay. But
Well,
anyway,
you're talking about fuel and you're talking about the
yeah.
slow speed
Okay.
chase.
Oh, you extended
Ah.
my joke. Okay, I get
Yeah.
it. You extended it.
I just thought somebody had an obligation to try to rescue the humor out of it.
Okay, thank you.
It was a rescue mission.
The rescue mission.
You're crying. It was a cry for help. So I'm trying to give you help.
Okay.
This is how you repay me?
I'm gonna push the button for the censors to block the next video image. Let me see.
By the way,
Let me see. Okay. But anyway, but yeah, that's just but you know what? It's also another lesson. And this is sort of when you blame the victim. You put all this money, and keep in mind, some of these investors were companies themselves that got investors in their own company who provided the funds to invest in FTX. And that shows you, they always say only put money that you can afford to lose.
To lose, exactly.
And they say, oh, this hot thing, FTX is the third largest crypto exchange. Ooh, it's brilliant. There, all these people are from all these high fancy name schools. Oh, how'd that work out now? I won't mention the schools, highfalutin schools. So is there a direct correlation on how brilliant you are in these schools?
well, I mean,
Seems
you
like,
can't hold the
you know,
schools responsible for
No,
what they're.
but what I'm saying is you show a nice pedigree without substance and it'll pass. It
Mhm.
will pass.
Yeah.
It will pass us the screening test of or usually normally intelligent or cautious people. But if you put a pedigree out there that meets a certain profile, they're so damn brilliant that we can't lose this money. And
Yeah.
I ask, how did that work out to you this time?
Yeah.
That's why
But
you have to
but it's-
validate.
But
Yeah,
it's understandable because you're looking for something that provides some validation and some degree of confidence. Like, for example, going to recent foreign policy and international relations stories.
mhm,
If the United States commits itself to providing a certain embattled sovereign United Nations member country and
mhm.
is going to give them, artillery, anti-aircraft missiles, drones, and it'll be in the tune of anywhere from 40 billion to $100 billion.
Mhm.
That's going to have more cachet and credibility than, let's say, Barbados or Benin making a promise.
Okay.
They could probably barely pay their payroll of honest employees because all the money is going to the corrupt oligarchy and president for life. Whereas, if you got something with the stamp of approval from Uncle Sam, you could take that to the bank. And
That's
I think
true.
people naturally want
Yeah.
that, and basically that's the banking system. That's collateral.
Exactly.
That's trust. That's who gets money. People who you think are going to be able to pay it back. You're not going to give money to somebody living in a tent, at
Mhm.
first in spring outside the Stanley Moss courthouse in downtown LA, you're going to give it to somebody who's living in Malibu or
But you know
Bel
what?
Air.
But you know what? And that's true. That's true. But I'm thinking about Warren Buffett right now and what he says, and also Peter Lynch, one up on Wall Street author from many years ago. And they both have something in common, meaning don't invest in stuff. If someone explains to you, well, you ask a simple question, they want your money. Well, how can you make me money? And they tell you, and if you can't repeat it and you don't understand it, they'll be able to regurgitate it back to them as far as this is how you're going to make me money. Don't do it. That means you don't understand what it is. That means it's beyond what should be beyond your comfort zone. If it's so complicated, these derivatives and all these so complex. And you know what the missing ingredient is with the, what you said is true. It's called integrity. Because see, you could have someone with all the pedigree all you want, but if they haven't demonstrated, not to, hey, I'm an honest person.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Show me where you're honest person. Show me what you're doing. Show me something I can understand. If I can't understand it, and I can't understand you, and I really don't know you. I don't. Thank you for your other picture, Maurice. Thank you. It flipped up on a moment, and so, but these other qualities, these soft qualities that basically, if they were present in this case, would have been avoided. It wouldn't have happened.
Right.
So, but I know there's a lot of deceivers out there that whatever, but it looks like in other situations too, it was built on the hype. Just like Madoff, you can't lose. I'll get you 350,000% money on your return. Really?
Right.
Really? It was
Right.
built on hype. It was not built on fundamental or actual performance. That's what it appears. Well, the 16 billion is gone. It's gone.
Mhm.
The money's gone.
Yeah.
So some people got their money back that realized it was a scam or whatever they thought. They thought it was a scam or inappropriate for them. And so, some people pulled their money out in time, but, and you just should have your own profile of what you would invest in. And now, if it was money
Mhm.
that you can afford to lose, it shouldn't be no harm, no foul. But yeah, but if it's criminal, obviously it's still foul. So,
Right.
that's just my take on it. If it's like a nickel to you, you have $5 billion. Well, okay, whatever. I lost 300 million. Oh, well, whatever.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But if you can't go home because you have to tell your spouse all that mortgage money and
Or
all the
it's your
kids' education is
retirement.
gone, retirement money,
Yeah.
Yeah.
then yeah, you're screwed.
Mhm.
You're just screwed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you're a
Um,
Highlander, bring back and live another life. Yeah.
and what's interesting about the Highlander concept, and they want to revive that again.
Oh, I
Because
saw that. I was going to tell. I just saw that. I saw
yeah,
that.
yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Me too. I'm gonna show
Basically,
Sandra. We're gonna watch that.
yeah. Well, for people in podcast land that may not be completely familiar au courant, if you're in France, with the concept of Highlander, it began as a movie franchise, became a late night broadcast television series, and the premise is basically the Highlanders are these immortals,
Mhm.
Oh.
and they only discover their immortality after they've died the first time,
Mhm.
and they can only be permanently slain by decapitation. And
Ooh.
if it's a Highlander that decapitates them, there's a quickening. And so the energy, the life force
All the
flows into
knowledge and gets into their body.
yeah,
So you have to be killed by another Highlander.
Right. They can only get killed by another Highlander. No one else can kill them.
right.
Oh,
And it has to be decapitation.
Right.
man.
Because
And
they
there's
transfer their energy over.
yeah,
Yeah.
their whole life force.
Their whole life force.
And there's limitations that they can't fight on hollowed ground.
Hmm.
So yeah, if they're at a church, they can't do it. It's safe ground for them.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
So
And we were talking before that, some of them are poor, and how can you be impoverished
Yeah,
if you're living
yeah.
like at least centuries?
So if
Yeah.
there's any, look, if there's any Highlanders out there, you're about to hate us because we're about to talk very badly about you. You live 3,000 years and you're still a broke egg.
You're still
I mean,
poor.
just still poor.
Yeah,
See, they say
explain
don't
that.
blame the victim. They say don't blame the victim. We're blaming you.
We're
You live
blaming you.
3,000 years and you're still broke.
And something that
Maybe
goes for,
that's the plan that they have to get people,
to be poor.
That's
you know,
their
to
plan.
be in that, because if they are 300 years, they gotta have some intelligence or something that they have a plan over. I mean, I'm like,
Not some of these. They're some dumb people. They may
They're,
be
no, they're
immortal,
stupid.
but they're
No,
stupid.
Sandra has a nice heart. She has a nice heart into the
They're
end of
nicer than we
time.
are.
They're just like, we can't go there. You live 3,000 years and you had, brother, you have $5. You,
but
you're
there's
stupid.
there's
You're
always
stupid.
You're
to
stupid.
me, there's
You're
always a
stupid.
reason
There's a
behind.
stupid reason.
They're
They're
not letting you know.
They're stupid. Like, you live longer than Jesus. You know,
Yeah.
you're stupid.
You're
That's
thinking
stupid.
with a mortal mind. There must be
You're
a
telling-
spiritual. There must be a spiritual
So-
way for
See,
them
Sandra,
to live.
Sandra, you're nicer than we are. See, we,
Yeah.
you know,
So, hey, Maurice, they renounced all financial well-being. I renounce you. You live longer than Methuselah. In fact, in the story, Methuselah was in there. He was 5,000 years old, but guess what? He had money, just like Duncan
some money.
MacLeod, the main protagonist. He had money. He was wealthy too. Now
And
that's a smart guy. But
and
all
you know
these other
something?
ones, yeah.
And Irene, in fact, bringing it back to Irene Cara, she finally got $1.5 billion in the lawsuit she filed in 1985 against Network, her former recording company. And even with all her struggles, she still had 2 houses at the time of her passing in New Mexico and in Florida. So think about it.
Wow.
If you're a Highlander and you're like with that 1,000 times older than Irene Cara, you should like have your own planet. You should like
Maybe
able to,
that's what it is. They had it all, so they didn't want nothing else. What the material wanted.
see,
know?
But on the show, they're suffering. On the show,
suffering.
they're immortal, but they still need to eat.
See, we're getting the mothership ready to go to Mars, but you know what? Kids, sell all your assets. Sell all the assets. We have
That's
to go
like-
to broke. We have to go broke.
Something that's like the Heaven's Gate people. Remember in San Diego, they killed themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They removed they chopped off their testicles. Yeah.
Something. I'm not going to belong to any
TMI,
faith that requires my castration.
Yeah. And they said, and they thought too the mothership was coming to pick their bodies up after they killed themselves.
Yeah, like it was like behind a comet.
Yeah. So
There's a lot of
but you know what? They were committed though. You got to respect that. They were committed. You
They were
stand in that
committed.
line to chop your gonads off. You committed.
Yeah, yeah.
But anyway,
Okay.
so I think we're going to leave the debate of poor and well-to-do Highlanders up for another time. Sandra made the case why some of them pledged obscurity, financial ruin, and she made that case.
Yeah, you made a strong case. You made a strong case.
Made a strong case that it was more of a religious nature that they be broke asses, and so
Not religious. I
Not
said,
religious.
is their philosophy? Could be a
The philosophy.
philosophy, something that they
It-
believe in.
it's true, and
Yeah.
but
That's right. That's right.
yeah, but all the religions in the world, they need money to survive, and institutions, nonprofits, for charity, they even need income to help other people. Because if say someone comes to me, Mike, can I borrow $1? I say, I was going to ask you for $1. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just, it is what it is. So, but thank you for having this is why we're raising the cane. We raise the issue and we're in some disagreement as far as,
Excuse me.
you know,
Yeah.
And, you know,
so.
and in fact, I brought it up. So let's all say a rest in peace to all of the members of Heaven's Gate,
Mhm.
and even though I think they were misinformed,
Yeah.
yeah, misguided,
Misguided.
about Comet Hale-Bopp, and that it would bring them to utopia because they were supposed to go to this higher human evolutionary level.
Yeah.
But when you think about it, it's one of many faiths that had its origins in
Mhm.
the United States. Everything from religious science to
Mhm.
Christian Science to Scientology to Mormonism.
Mhm.
Where this country has been kind of fruitful for new
Right.
faiths. And
Yeah.
Heaven's Gate itself was one of the newer ones. It was established in 1974, and of course went defunct in 1997.
So, so
For
what? Yeah. So if I am curious, let me ask you a question, Maurice, and I have to exclude you, Sandra, because of the nature of what they did to themselves.
Mhm.
So Maurice, just imagine we're standing in line, just like, we got taken off the street by one of the religions you just named and kind of was shepherded in a building and asked us a bunch of questions and stuff like that. So let's say we're in Heaven's Gate headquarters and we're standing in line. Hey, yeah, we're depressed. We need some help. We need some friends. We need family. We need stuff. And then they give you issue out the machete in a bag,
oh,
and you see, notice everyone's getting machetes, getting issued machetes in a bag, and with a towel.
yeah.
And then we get up there, we get our machete and towel. We would say, well, and we're confused. Well, what's this
Yeah.
for? Are we supposed to go out and kill an animal, or you're gonna
Yeah.
for our food or something because we're
Yeah, for dinner.
fundamentalists, our dinner or something? We have to go. We're in the middle of a city, by the way, and so
Right.
we're saying, are we going to be put on a bus and taken somewhere where we can hunt? And it said, no, children, you're supposed to go in the next room, and you're going to be pure. When Jesus comes and when God comes with the mothership to take you, we have to be pure of any sexual hindrances. So you have to remove your hindrance in the next room. And so
Yeah.
we have to. So we're going to bless your gonads and bless you, and make sure you to stop the hemorrhaging. You put this on you like a clothespin or something. I don't know. And going and
No,
we asked for
that's
clarification. We asked for clarification. Do you mean I have to chop my bumps off so I can go to heaven with God? He wants me to do that? Yes,
Yeah.
child.
No way.
And
No
but
way.
what we would do, we would say we would inch away like there. Okay, yeah, master. And see, you know what? See, the dumb people.
you know what I will see is
The
the two of you flash like flash.
no, see. So,
Boom.
but the way we would do it is we wouldn't just say and argue with them. No, hell no, I'm not doing that, because then they would just trap your ass, put you in the back, and then chop it off for you by then.
Yeah.
So we'll be like, we understand. We understand.
That's
We
right. I'd be
understand.
enthusiastic.
I'd be like, yes, we get to chop them off. And then
Chop
we
'em
would
off.
say, and we would both be looking at that door that's 80 feet away. Damn, how fast we gonna have to run to get to that door? And
You know
it's
something?
like, we just back up and say,
Yeah.
oh,
Remember,
yeah,
remember you,
just
See,
swimmer.
Michael ran hurdles in high school, so he'd be using all that, track and field knowledge.
Yeah.
See, I mentioned OJ before, but we'd be OJ at that point.
We'll be running through airport more than
We're
this airports, like the old
be like,
commercial.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But
You
stop the
guys are
two black
funny.
guys. Stop the two black guys.
No, in fact, we would be breaking the sound barrier. We would be running so quickly.
I'll be running at us. Oh, heck no.
But you know something? But
I'll be happy to live in despair and unfriendliness and sadness. That's fine.
I know.
Thank you. Yeah,
But you know something?
man.
But if people are interested in learning more about that group, which passed away, they were covered in Jacques Vallee's book, Messengers of Deception, 1979. They were also very well known in the UFO community because of their belief that, after their earthly demise, they would be resurrected. They would be boarding a spacecraft and they would go to a utopian destination. Art Bell, who I used to listen to all the time in the 90s, he had this late night show called Coast to Coast, and he covered paranormal phenomenon, bizarre Fortean phenomenon. He discussed the idea of the companion object, which would be basically a starcraft that would be behind a celestial object, like a comet, in the Heaven's Gate theology. And I remember LA Weekly did I remember this like it was almost yesterday, because LA Weekly did a story in January 1994 about the group, which was 3 years before everything came to a head with them. But
Wow.
it was an interesting group when you think about it. They were buying properties in Rancho Santa Fe and in Manzano, New Mexico. People really bought into it, literally. I mean, they were putting thousands of dollars into this group.
Man.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, so man, that is something. So, but I feel sorry for them, and they were misguided, but
yeah,
it's you know what, if you believe in heaven, there's another way to get there.
Yeah,
It's another way. But gosh, I can't imagine you're at the precipice of that, where okay, and then you take poison, cyanide, to kill yourself too, on top of that, castration,
yeah.
which reminds me of Jim Jones, which is a whole nother other story.
Oh, yeah,
Which,
that was
that was 900 people that were murdered and committed suicide, and in Ghana. So that, all these stories, it's like, and David Koresh with the Branch Davidian, I guess,
yes.
Texas, Waco, and just he was Jesus, and he was impregnating these women or whatever, and he's
Although,
Jesus. And
so you know something? Notwithstanding, the bizarre aspects of the Branch Davidians, that group should not have been killed the way they were, though, by the
right, the
FBI
government, Janet Reno, that was Bill Clinton's watch.
and the ATF.
Right.
Because you had, 75 members of the Branch Davidians died in that 51-day standoff in '93 in Texas. Basically on the outskirts of Waco, which is actually where Baylor University is located, by the way. And
shout out Baylor.
Shout out Baylor Bears, great football team and basketball too. But there was a lot of talk that David Koresh, and obviously he was not the reincarnation of Jesus Christ, so I'm just going to put that out there. But he would jog into town. So if you really wanted to focus upon David Koresh, why wouldn't you just arrest him? Why would you have this, stagey production number at the compound?
Yeah. So, but what happened, for those that didn't know it, the FBI showed up on the front door, and they were murdered. They were killed by the Branch Davidians. They just thought, hey, we have a search warrant, we'll come in. No, you can't come in. And the people, they just assumed they were going to be peaceful. And unfortunately, the FBI agents lost their life. Yeah, I can tell you now, if I was agent, I said, I'm not going anywhere near that door. So heck no, you can. I quit, because that was not smart to order them to do that. And like you said, there were so many other ways to do it, with a non-violent way, to do it in a different way. And then, to, I guess, David Koresh's credit, he did allow anyone that wanted to leave, because he knew death was coming, and he let them leave. He let them leave. He didn't hold anyone there. My understanding of the story, right, Maurice? So,
that's where he was different than Jim Jones.
Jim Jones, right? because I think there were like
Man.
82, 83 people left. And I mean, there was a whole lot of people there before that. And so they said, wait a second, we're about to die, So they burned to death, right, Mars?
Yeah,
The canisters and everybody, what they shot in there, it just started a fire and they all burned up.
yeah. In fact, of
And
the 85 Branch Davidians in the that were still in the compound when the final siege began, 76 died on April 19th from falling rubble to the asphyxiation from the
right,
smoke
smoke.
caused by the
Yeah.
fire, or by gunshot, actually, from
Yeah,
fellow
I
Branch
think
Davidians.
Yeah, I think David Caress, he either shot himself or he had someone shoot him.
Yeah,
Man.
But I
I-
mean, if you're about to burn up in a ball of flames, maybe that would be
that might be merciful.
might be
Um,
merciful. Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
now there were survivors, like
right.
12 Branch Davidians that were basically arrested, charged with aiding and abetting in the murder of federal officers and unlawful possession and use of various firearms. In fact, that was one of the reasons that the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms and the FBI went to execute the search warrant, along with
Mhm.
alleged sexual abuse of children. And what's interesting is that many of the firearms were
Mhm.
lawful under Texas state law, as I understand it.
Wow.
But like of the 12 survivors, 8 Branch Davidians were convicted on the firearms charges. 5 were convicted of voluntary manslaughter, and then 4 were acquitted. And then as of actually July 2007, so it's been a while, all those that were convicted and sentenced were eventually released from prison.
Hmm.
Yeah. And
So-
so, yeah, now, they messed up by killing the agents because that doesn't justify them murdering people
Well,
doing
you're
their
not gonna
job
get away
either.
with killing federal agents.
Yeah, so they were doomed. As soon as they killed
Yeah.
them, it was over.
Oh, that was all she
Yeah.
wrote then.
Yeah, because now they have a reason to get you now, a real
Yeah.
reason.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And it looks like they didn't really have a good reason, really. It seems so weak as far as the way I read it and saw the stories on TV that it seems like they were going to harass them. They were harassing them.
Well,
What
I remember back in the day, we're talking like real time 1993, is that one of the reasons for the search warrant and the 51-day siege was that there was discussion in the US Congress about disbanding the ATF. And so they wanted to justify their independent existence as a federal law enforcement agency. And what better way than doing something really high profile, where you get a cult leader who's abusing children and has a cache or arsenal of all these firearms, and has what they described as this apocalyptic doomsday philosophy. And they figured, and I'm talking about, the White House at the time and its allies, that they're not going to have any allies because everybody's opposed to doomsday death cults, right?
Mhm.
It sells itself. And it's obviously a kind of a strange theology from the perspective of most Americans, because the Branch
Exactly.
Davidians, that's basically a branch of the Seventh-day Adventists.
Wow.
And this particular branch, the Branch Davidians, they started in Laverne, California, not far from
Laverne.
yeah,
Wow.
from great cities of commerce and culture like San Dimas and Covina.
Mhm.
Man.
So anyway, wow, we're talking about cults. We went into cults, from crypto to cults, only on Raising the Cane.
Only
From
on Raising the
crypto
Cane.
to cults.
To Kara
Crypto to cults.
and Irene Cara.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Cara.
let's turn to a lighter subject.
Okay. How about that Mauna Loa
spoiler-
volcano?
Okay, no, I want to do another one first.
All right.
We got to do something happy. Gotta do
Wakanda
something
forever.
happy.
Yes.
We saw that, but that's not what I want to talk about. But Wakanda
Okay.
Forever. We encourage you to see it though. It was a great
I
movie.
saw it.
You
So
saw
that's
it
good.
finally. Wow.
Yeah, that's why I want to talk about it.
I want to talk
Yeah.
about my movie for another movie. Then we talk about Wakanda since I started
Okay.
talking.
Okay.
So I will
Be there.
not be bullied. I will not be bullied.
I'll,
Stand
You'll
up
be-
for your rights. Tell
I'm gonna-
Raise Against It, stand up for your rights. Your
I'm the
rights.
Huckleberry.
Okay, let's move on.
So,
I know.
but anyway, Black Adam.
Okay.
So I was reading recently, and it's maybe spoiler alert, so turn this off if you didn't watch it or
We
whatever.
don't want anybody to turn off our podcast.
No, we're giving them opportunity because we're not bullies. We're about to talk about Black Adam and Wakanda too, but
They
Black
can
Tell
Panther.
me.
mute it. They can mute it.
They can be
And
there.
so
Okay, what are you gonna
Okay.
say?
anyway, but I was reading because, and this is a spoiler, seriously, turn it off if you or stop it, pause it. Apparently, The Rock heavily influenced Henry Cavill's appearance as Superman, saying that they were going to basically end the individual movies with Superman or that's why you haven't seen an individual Superman for 5 years in 2017. So they were
That's
pretty
a
much,
while.
it appears they're going to kill
Mhm.
off the just showing him independently, maybe with the Justice League, the Justice Society, et cetera, bring him back in a collective or group sense, but not individual. So they were going to, The Rock, Dwayne Johnson insisted, saying that you're bringing Black Adam as the most powerful being in the DC universe, but you can't do that without bringing the most powerful being in the entire universe beyond the DC. So he's capitulating that Superman is the strongest and most powerful that exists. He's conceding that. And
We
so,
all know that though.
and so it appears that DC wanted to try to inflate Black Adam to that category, but to The Rock's credit, he said, no. I'm the most badass person in DC universe, but there's someone that eclipses me, and that's Superman. He's the most powerful of all.
Yeah.
So
So then
felt-
they're gonna bring him. They're gonna bring Superman, most likely.
well, they put him in Black Adam because of the
Mhm.
saying, well, there has to be a nexus in the film or some connection to the most powerful being ever.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Black Adam's number 2, but you got to have number 1 there. It's sort of
Yeah.
like talking about Wendy's or Burger King or burger places without talking about McDonald's. How can you, if it's the
You
discussion about the most successful burger franchise, you have to talk about McDonald's.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's not genuine. It's not genuine.
That's right.
We do own McDonald's stock too, by the way. Disclaimer.
All right.
But
So-
it's not the most recommended. But anyway.
Well,
For mothers that you're listening,
Uh-oh. 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 Controversy. Controversy.
I wonder if you could return to McDonald's gift cards now. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't have any, thank God. But yeah, no.
Knock on
uh-uh.
wood now. You're about to get a flood of them. But
That's
anyway.
that's how we pay our gardeners, with the McDonald's gift cards.
Well, whether you like them or not, they are number 1.
That's right.
They
Well,
got the gold
they're
medal.
number 1 because of real estate, but their food is crappy.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
Oh,
The-
Oh,
the-
wow.
whoa, whoa.
The food doesn't have any value. I have horrible stories about people that have work in their transporting the meat, and it's horrible. It's horrible.
But Sandra, we're gonna lose our
You will not be
sponsorship by
even.
McDonald's.
You will not be eating a
So-
hamburger if I will tell you. But again, You
You
use
lose
your
that sponsorship.
discretion, investigate.
Sponsored by Burger
Boy.
King of America. See your Burger King label on them. Okay. Yeah. That's it. We have a quick alternative for you.
No, no,
And our jumbo jacks.
Jumbo jack. Have a jumbo jack in the Raising the Cane jumbo jack. Okay. But
I should,
uh,
in fact, see, look, I got a crown, kind of like Burger King.
so so
But
anyway,
but I had a thought
we
about
were
Black
talking about
Adam.
Black Adam. We were talking about Black Adam, were we? Okay.
I thought, well, yeah, you start talking about McDonald's.
Okay.
But Amanda Waller, portrayed, of course, by the vivacious Viola Davis, is the one that organizes the Suicide Squad. So her appearance in that mid-credits scene in the movie Black Adam also introduces the possibility of Black Adam encountering the Suicide Squad, as well as what you discussed before about the appearance of Henry Cavill at the, that phase at the end of the film as well. So it kind of sets it up for encounters with both Superman and the Suicide Squad.
Okay. So you heard it from us first.
That's right. So,
Yeah.
So, but we enjoyed the movie. I enjoyed it. Did you guys
Me
enjoy it?
too. Me
I
too.
did.
And it
I
was
was
very
really looking
exciting.
forward to seeing Pierce Brosnan as Dr. Fate, and I really enjoyed his appearance.
But I didn't. But it's too bad that they spoiler alert. They killed. He didn't last long, man.
Spoiler.
Just
But you know something?
I know.
This is going to be like, this is like beyond spoiler because it's speculative. But listen to me, you heard it first. Dr. Fate, although he appeared to be dead, he's not gone for good. You can't kill Nabu and his chosen sorcerer that easily. See, remember the prophecy that he had in the movie that Hawkman was going to perish? So he was saving his friend by basically allowing himself to be slain by Sabak. So Dr. Fate's going to return.
Hopefully.
you heard
Well,
it
James
first.
Gunn, who directed the last Suicide Squad movie, has been given the position of essentially organizing DC's cinematic universe, basically kind of restoring order to it. And of course, Gunn was, like I said, directed Suicide Squad, and now is given the responsibility for the overall shared universe of superheroes and supervillains that have their origins in DC Comics.
So since Black Adam originated with Shazam, are they going to do a nexus to the other movie with Shazam?
That's inevitable. That's inevitable.
So
Eventually,
remember, they have the same lightning bolt, the same energy source.
Yeah.
And wasn't that the same actor?
Word.
The same wizard. Yeah, Shazam.
Same wizard. It's the same wizard. So
I wish they would just go by Captain Marvel, because Fawcett Comics named Billy Batson's adult alter ego Captain Marvel. Now, I know over the decades, there have been other Captain Marvels, most recently, the one currently in the umbrella of Disney-owned Marvel Entertainment, portrayed by Brie Larson. But Billy Batson's alter ego was the original Captain Marvel. And it's ridiculous to have a character whose name is also the word that he uses to transform himself. So I'm gonna say, hi, my name is Shazam, and then I change.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. Don't get me started. But eventually, Black Adam and quote unquote Shazam will encounter each other. That's inevitable because it's the same wizard.
And
yes,
so
definitely.
we're talking about the top three most powerful, arguably Shazam or Captain Marvel, is the third, the trilogy that rounds out the trilogy, I guess the triangle, the holy triangle of power. Would you say he would be number 3 in the universe?
You know, that's a good question, because I often group the Martian Manhunter into the mix there too. You know, one of the founding members of the Justice League of America, and who is generally considered to be fairly close to Superman in terms of superhuman strength levels.
Mm.
You know, so you know, you have that hierarchy, you know, basically Superman, Black Adam, Shazam, Martian Manhunter, and some will even put Wonder Woman into the mix. Her origins tend to vary depending upon the current DC reboot, but because she was once clay that was molded by her mother, Queen Hippolyta of the Amazons in Themyscira. And then with the New 52, then she became the daughter of Zeus, which is a substantial upgrade.
Yeah.
But you know, Wonder Woman has at times even been a goddess within the Olympian pantheon, the goddess of truth.
Mhm.
And so she's got a power set that makes her capable of holding her own for a while, at least, against most Kryptonians, Martians, and other superhuman beings. You
Mm.
know, because basically she's virtually bulletproof and indestructible herself. And then she got the golden lasso of truth that works even on Superman because it's magical in nature. So if that lasso of truth comes into contact with you and she asks you a question, you can't lie. And then she can fly and she can communicate with animals.
Mhm.
I mean,
So she would definitely be in the top 10.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, I always say top 5,
Yeah.
you know. Yeah, in fact, I like Gal Gadot and Linda Carter. But you know, I don't even think the full potential of Wonder Woman has actually even been portrayed um, cinematically or on television.
Mhm.
You know,
You think you're gonna bring back Trevor for the third installment?
he needs to be buried once and for all.
Because
Enough of him.
he was obviously dead. He can only come back as a spirit inhabiting someone else's body. You could do that only so many times. You think they're gonna bring him back in his own body when he's not doing Star Trek?
You know, something I think I could be wrong, you know, but I think that was the end of it.
It seems like that should be the end. And
Yeah.
yeah, I don't see how they can do a third one because it was so complete.
Yeah. But look at that poor man who was possessed. I mean, he lost how many months or weeks in his life? You know, didn't show up to
Yeah.
work because he's being possessed by Steve Trevor.
I know. Yeah. Yeah, he's probably be homeless now. He lost his job
Yeah,
and
can't pay
his
his, and he was living in a luxury
and
penthouse.
didn't they break the law and stuff, breaking into stuff, and they just see him breaking into stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't see who's possessing you. They don't have like spirit vision. They just see you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, if there's security cameras or there's body cam, they just see your image.
And then his friends or people or neighbors said, "Hey, well, where's your girlfriend at?" He's like, "What are you talking
What
about?
girlfriend? Yeah,
Girlfriend."
yeah, the beautiful
Yeah.
woman. You know, she's Wonder
Yeah.
Woman. Don't you remember?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Must have been using some fentanyl. Don't remember that.
Yeah. So
You know, that's the.
yeah, you finally get a girlfriend and you don't remember. Okay.
That's right. And in fact, it's not you. It's not even you that she's interested in. It's the one
Oh.
possessing you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she only tolerated his looks because of the spirit within.
Exactly. Well, at least it wasn't like a
Mm.
full scale demon. It was just a know,
Yeah.
it was benevolent.
Steve Trevor.
Yeah, Steve Trevor.
Was it Captain Trevor, I guess, Captain or
I guess he was captain.
Colonel Trevor, or I thought he was
See,
a
if he was
colonel on a
still
TV
alive, he would
show.
have been. He would have
Yeah.
gotten promoted.
Yeah. But he saved the world by blowing up with those explosives in the plane in 1944 or 43 or whatever.
You should have said
44.
you should have said spoiler alert when you said that.
Yeah, he blew up, took the bullet for that. Man,
Yeah. Hey, you
at
know
least he
something?
went quick, I guess.
All right. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
I'm done.
All right, you done? Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there's this recent controversy involving She-Hulk, Attorney at Law, on Disney Plus. Of course, you know She-Hulk is Bruce Banner's cousin, Jennifer Walters.
Get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of
Yeah.
here.
Spoiler. Well, you know, She-Hulk was not necessarily universally beloved as a TV series, although I enjoyed it myself. But one of the recent criticisms that I learned about on Meta, which owns Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, and probably what I'm wearing, because they own everything else. There was a story that some people were upset that Wong, as you know, is the current Sorcerer Supreme
Mhm.
in the mystical part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, because when there was that 5-year blip, he became the Sorcerer Supreme and took it from Doctor Strange. Well, he and this lady that were introduced on She-Hulk start binge watching The Sopranos.
Mhm.
All right.
I remember. Yeah.
And in one of the episodes of She-Hulk, there was like some major development, and people were complaining in social media that it was a spoiler. But in my opinion, that's ridiculous. I'm overusing that word today, so I'll say preposterous. In that The Sopranos has been off HBO for 15 years. So how can something be a spoiler if it's been around for 15 years? People.
That's the same kind of people that are broke Highlanders.
Oh yeah, they're the broke Highlanders.
Yeah, they're the broke Highlanders. Yeah.
I think we have to condemn broke Highlanders, as well as people who are complaining about a TV show that's been off the air for 15 damn years. Come on, you're gonna be like, oh, I didn't get finished with watching Dragnet. I don't know what's gonna happen next. No, that was off since the 1950s. You got a statute of limitation. We could talk about it. That's like I watched that. Remember Lincoln starring Daniel Day-Lewis?
Yeah. Yeah.
And you say, oh, you can't talk about Lincoln because I don't know what happened. People, he was assassinated at Fort Theater. Come on. 1865. That's not a spoiler. You're just historically ignorant.
Yeah. Some people are just strange. It is
Yeah.
absolutely strange.
Seriously.
It's like, how did the Civil War end? Oh, damn, you told me, man.
You told me that spoiled it. Spoiled it. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Why you have to tell me? You should like have a, like a trigger alert or warning.
So do you see mass camps of Black people in chains? Okay, we figure out who won.
That's right. Well, maybe parts of Compton,
Yeah.
but that's usually at a house party.
Yeah. Like wonder how it turned out. Oh, well, really? Okay.
But see, if you're voluntarily putting on chains, it doesn't count as servitude. That's your
No.
Halloween costume. Because see, if I was back then, I would be I would already be hanged because I had to rebel. Because I'm not picking cotton all day for anybody. I'm not picking oranges all day for anybody. People always want me to go somewhere and you have to pay to go pick fruit. Why am I gonna pay to pick fruit? I go to like the farmer's market. When you go like the Laverne, you can pick oranges.
But you know what?
You go, oh, it's a different point of view. Coming.
Let me tell you, I'm a person that I enjoy going to nature.
Me too.
And One of the things that I
Capitulate.
used to do with my kids, I used to live in an area where there were people with huge lots of trees, and I will take them. We will go over, they will open the doors and they will say, okay, you pick your own fruit, bring it, we'll weigh it and you pay for it. And it was easy for me just to take the kids to the store, but it's the connection that you have and the understanding, the effort that it takes to, to cut just a lemon. You get all pinched up with all the, thorns and all of that. So, and the fun about going. And so I really enjoyed that. I enjoy.
Not Sandra, did you pick
Well,
up too?
it was a family experience,
Yeah,
which
it's a
It was a
family
family
experience.
experience.
because
Yeah.
you would
Yeah.
because you would have just probably gone a lot just by yourself if you didn't have the kids, I would imagine. Oh,
If it's, I love some fruits that, if I want it fresh and they allow me to, I will go by myself.
were these
I-
private homes or something where they just trying to?
They do have it. They have over the, like for instance, in, where is it, close to San Bernardino Mountains and Beaumont,
Yes,
like
yes.
Well,
the apples, you
Like
right.
can
Oak
go
Glen,
pick
right?
Oak Glen. There
So
you go. I
okay,
forgot about that.
so yeah, we had a place years ago. It was at a house, but they had a big yard, an acre that had a lot of fruit and stuff, and they would never be home. Never. They would have a sign saying you could pick the fruit and then just place your donation in the bucket or something. It was like an honor system.
Okay.
Oh, wow. That
Yeah.
was
It,
nice.
yeah, it was an honor system. And so I would leave money because it's the right thing to do. I mean, they said, can you just give us a donation to keep this
Because that's
going?
their fruit.
And
Yeah.
it was and I mean, and so I thought that was nice, you know.
Yeah. You know, I
But
liked, because when we lived in Covina, we were behind people who had like a huge lemon tree that they didn't prune. So I would
And
go in our backyard and I would pick some lemons. So that was good.
yeah,
mhm.
yeah. And I really do enjoy that. So I will say that if I will have a place that is close enough for me to go and pick them, I will go rather than going to the store. I know that that is, I see nature as an energy booster for where we live, where you grow. It picked up the energy that that community needs,
Yeah.
basically, and that's what you get. So to me, I would prefer to go closer rather than going to the store, because I don't know whether that fruit was caught not even ready. But the time they bring it to where probably another country, when it comes in here, you're not eating all the life force that you will have if you just got it from the tree.
But there's that compromise too, though, at some of the farmers markets, like at Alta Loma High
Mhm.
School in Rancho Cucamonga, or Claremont Village on Sundays,
Mhm.
plug 8 a.m. to 1 p.m., where there's the local farms and agricultural cooperatives
Mhm.
um, that'll come, and they're like, Riverside,
Mhm.
Moreno Valley. I think the farthest maybe Ventura and Oxnard,
Oh
but
yeah.
so they're relatively. In fact, I remember when we went to Alta Loma
Mhm.
on a Sunday. The fellow who was selling some berries, he said he picked it that morning.
Wow.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
yeah.
I
But no,
would rather
I
go.
agree in terms of the freshness of the
Mhm.
produce. I think you can definitely tell the difference. In fact, I kind of
Right.
like the one over at Cal Poly Pomona as well, which is a school, of course, known for its agricultural and animal husbandry educational programs.
Mhm.
So, um, you know,
Yeah, I do endorse those farmers markets too.
Okay.
Yeah.
If
Well,
I was a
anyway,
Highlander, I would have so many farms.
mm,
I mean, I would be like a major employer. I
Hey,
would be,
at least you can donate some food to people, you know, the home.
oh
yeah.
yeah,
I remember my dad will say, if in every country they will they will put a tree in the streets or in parks, a fruit tree, where homeless, when they're hungry, they can go and pick their own fruit. It will
that's
be
a good idea.
better.
That's a good
But
idea.
it seems like nobody, you know, anyway, but
You know, they could do
I
that
think
with
that
some of these community gardens. I don't know why they can't do that. You know, they could,
exactly.
you know, have a designated area for
Mhm,
individuals who have suffered economic misfortune
mhm,
and are living a hard scrabble existence. And
mhm,
um, you know, that seems to be like a relatively straightforward type of humanitarianism by allowing them to partake
mhm,
of the of fruits and vegetables, from community
that they grow.
gardens, kind of
Yeah.
like your father's concept, basically.
Mhm, mhm,
And yeah, and you know something, and that's nutritious. Obviously, you get your vitamin C
mhm.
and your pulp and your fiber.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
well,
Yes. Amen. Fresh
Amen.
fruit. Fresh
what a
fruit.
feeling!
I'm sorry.
What a feeling! See, like
Yes.
we're tying it all together.
Yeah.
Fresh fruit. What a feeling.
Yeah.
So any rate, well, it's been a nice show. Any parting words?
Well,
We're going to talk
I
about
will
the.
have to say that because it's Thanksgiving and it is near the holidays, Christmas, I would love to send a a very heartfelt feelings of well to everybody that is listening to us. We are really grateful. I am grateful for all of you that are listening, and I wish only the best, prosperity, harmony, love, happiness, joy, and internal peace to everybody.
Well
Amen.
said. Well said, Maurice. And
Amen.
thank you, Sandra. You heard it straight from Raising the Cane, Sandra.
All right.
Now, Maurice.
I just want to talk about the volcano.
Oh, yeah, you wanted to talk about that like
No
45
one
minutes
let me
ago?
talk about the. Yeah.
Okay. Talk about your volcano.
All right. So Mauna Loa, it's
Kind
a
of
volcano.
anticlimactic now.
I don't say, yeah, I know. I can't build up. It's too much expectations. But Mauna Loa is a volcano on the big island of Hawaii, the
Okay.
50th state of the United States of America, plug for
Okay.
America. And
Thank you.
this has been like the longest dormancy because over the last 3,000 years, Mauna Loa erupts every 6 years. But oddly, there hasn't been any eruption since 1984.
Wow.
And there was some apparent foreshadowing in September when there were a number of earthquakes that were happening in the vicinity of Mauna Loa. But that in itself doesn't indicate that magma is coming to the surface.
Hmm.
But then finally, this past Sunday, 11:30
Wow.
p.m., it resumed its fiery life.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
What
Yeah.
part of Hawaii again?
It's a big island.
Big Island. Somewhere on the Big Island. Okay.
Yeah. It's kind of
So
like,
that's interesting.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
I like
And they
reading
haven't done
about.
evacuations yet, but
No. Well, yeah, we don't want people to get injured over this now when we say yeah, but in yay, but
yeah,
yeah,
well, we're
obviously,
safe.
yeah, yeah,
I'm
but
Mark Safe from Mauna Loa.
yeah, so But,
Hawaii is beautiful.
It really is. And
Mhm.
you know, and it exists because basically all the islands are made of volcanoes.
Mhm,
The whole archipelago is basically volcanic,
mhm,
Mhm.
mhm.
you know. So that's what I wanted to share.
Nice to own the
Okay,
boat.
thank you.
Nice.
Yeah,
Thank
thanks.
you, Mark. You heard it from Maurice and Raising the Cane.
Thank you.
Volcano activity since 1984 in the Big Island, Hawaii.
Yes.
Thank you.
And there've been a number
so-
of earthquakes since the eruption
Mhm.
with a magnitude as large as 4.2.
Okay.
Wow.
Now I want to go back to Hawaii. I haven't been since 91, 92.
Mm.
Yeah, I want to go back. You know, our name is everywhere. Don't you know that, Maurice?
Hane.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with the restroom, when you want to go to the men's restroom, Kane, K-N-E, Kane.
Yeah. Yeah. That's right. I think, and isn't it
I was
related?
kind of offended when I first saw that, because when you look the meaning up of Kane, our name means man in
Yeah.
Polynesian, I believe. So it means man. So they said restroom, man. It's like, who made that leap from we're man, but restroom, men's restroom?
Well, you know, another word
I
for
don't know.
toilet is John, and John is a man's name.
But I'm not called John, so it doesn't matter to me.
I call you John. I call you Mr. Charlie sometimes.
Well, I don't like you calling me Mr. Charlie.
I know you've made that clear, but you know, but I think our name is actually derived from the Gaelic. You know, because in Ireland, Kane is a traditional surname.
Well, we have one of Sandra's former co-workers explain to us when we dropped her equipment about our heritage. He knows there's a lot of Canes from where he's at, and that's another show. We're winding this down, so we'll
Oh.
take this off topic, and then
Bring it back.
yeah, we'll bring it
Yeah.
back and talk about it, because I want to talk to him about it, because he's very familiar with Canes
Yes.
and
the
the origin
tribes.
in the tribes, and he's familiar with that, so he can give us direct information.
Yeah.
Can we invite him as
Other
a
than
guest?
Yeah,
and
maybe.
just talk about us.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I thought that's what we were doing.
I want to know, regardless of who's watching us. I mean, I thought you would care because you're a Cane. So
Yeah,
Hey,
know,
I want to hear more.
we can bring it about what the king.
Yeah,
yeah,
I
yeah.
think everybody out there listening to us has a deep, abiding interest in our genealogy and family tree.
The votes
may
are
be
in.
wrong.
We're taking a vote now. Taking a vote.
I'll say aye.
Yeah. So
I'm raising my hand for
anyway,
people in podcast land who can't see me.
but we'll go over that as far as another avenue of a bunch of Canes in a tribal settings. So
All right. Hey, one more
we'll
thing.
do that.
One more
It's
thing.
always one more thing, isn't it?
It is.
It's
It's a
always,
never-ending show.
especially
It's
while
like
we're
a
saying
never-ending
goodbye.
story.
You know,
No, but
please,
seriously.
quick,
Can
please,
you-
Harold.
Okay, quiet. I want to give a shout out to the United States men's national soccer team in defeating the Islamic Republic of Iran 1-0 in today's FIFA World Cup game in Qatar.
Oh,
In
the
the Middle
United
East.
States.
Yeah, 1-0,
Wow.
which means, along
Mhm.
with the former imperial overseer England, we're going to the next round out of Group B, because Group B had
Wow.
England, the United States, Iran, and another part of the United Kingdom, Wales.
Wow.
And
Wow!
we're
Congratulations, United States!
Yes,
Congratulations! Go
congratulations.
USA!
Shout out
Go USA!
America.
Go USA!
Go
Yay.
USA.
Yes, go USA!
And
So
other winners include Brazil, Netherlands, and so on.
okay,
Oh, good.
you heard it, third and fourth on Raising the Cane.
Yay!
Yeah,
Yay!
I'm sure they heard it first on the traditional media, but
They probably did. Yeah,
but
probably on Fox Sports.
yeah, we weren't invited to the table.
We're never invited. That's why
Life-
we vowed to get revenge.
Okay. You made several lists, I'm sure, or will. Okay. Yeah. You'll be monitored if you wonder why you see suspicious cars nearby. Okay.
I thought that was your car.
Yeah. There's a
I thought that was
pink
your
ice
Hitchcock.
cream, pink ice cream truck that doesn't seem to want to leave your neighborhood.
I'm probably a
Yeah.
customer.
Always out of vanilla. Always out of vanilla. Okay.
How can you be out of vanilla?
But they have your favorite Tutti Frutti.
Uh-oh, hate speech.
No. Come
So
on.
anyway, but anyway, so anyway,
Hate speech.
so anyway, but anyway, we're done.
We're done.
We're
All right.
done. So
It's 9 o'clock.
so have this year has come to a close. December is coming. And so this year went kind of quick. So, but we encourage you to subscribe to Raising a Cane on whatever vehicle of choice. And please share with family and friends and all those appropriate in between.
And whatever
So-
you do, avoid monkeypox.
Avoid monkeypox. So see you later.
Stay
Maurice.
healthy.
Sorry.
See you later. Sandra.
Unless I see you
later.
first.
And so I see you second. See you
Yeah.
third.
All right.
And another big movie coming up is Avatar next month. We can't wait after 15, 17, 18, 19 years, right? Something like
Man, man.
that. So
And you still
give
as
you the
bald as
Good
ever.
night.
All
well,
right.
good night. Sandra's saying, get the heck off the phone. It's like, you notice that strength in her voice?
Good
I know.
night.
Good night.
All
Good night.
Oh,
right.
until next time at Raising
next
the
time.
Cane.
Raising the Cane.
Raising
tuned.
the Cane. Woo.